Okay, friends, it's 11 o'clock. Welcome, welcome to all of you from near and far. It's very exciting. Love to see your whereabouts and your kavanot. My name is Cantor Lizzie Shamash, and welcome to Online Yoga Studio on behalf of IJS, whether you're joining us here in the Zoom room or whether you're on our YouTube channel. And great news is the recordings endure on our YouTube channel, Chai V'Kayam, Living and Enduring, so you can catch them again for a second round if you like them. Couple messages from the Institute. Please keep up with our wonderful podcast, Open My Heart, hosted by Rabbi Jonathan Slater. The link is in the chat. You can also find our podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. On Friday, May 28th, that's this Friday, join Rabbi Jonathan Slater and One Table for meditating on rest, free pre-Shabbat meditation and conversation focused on managing burnout and resting mind, body, and soul. That sounds like something wonderful that we all need. And lastly, save the date for our evening of gratitude, Monday, June 21st, 8 o'clock. That is going to be wonderful. I think that's it. So today is the 13th of Sivan. It is Parshat Beha'alotecha. Although we're not going to focus on the Parsha today, we're going to focus on some pieces of the Ahava Rabbah morning prayer right before the Shema, and we'll get to that in a moment. We're going to start on all fours. So please come to your mat, and you can always prop up with blanket under your knees, a blanket to ease weight on your wrists. And if that is not for you, no worries. Please take a chair and sit in a chair. You can do all the warm-ups in the chair, no problem. So all fours, the knees are below the hips and the wrists are below the shoulders. And you want to be sure to draw your energies up and out of the wrists at all times. And engage your core lightly by drawing the navel towards the spine. This really helps the effort of the up energy and not just a pressing down into the wrists and putting pressure and weight too much. You can spread your fingers also and spread your weight evenly through the palms. Now let's begin with some coordinating breath and movement. Cat and cow. So as you inhale, drop the belly, begin to bring up that arch of the spine, tailbones moving up. The space between the shoulder blades is dropping towards the earth. Collarbones are widening. And as you exhale, navel to spine, tailbone moving down, crown moving down. As we inhale, beginning to open the spine into length and arching. Gaze comes forward, collarbones widen. And as we exhale, tailbone drops, mid-back domes up. Keep this going in your own breath. And as always, your breath, your movement may be quite different in tempo and texture from mine. So please take my movements and my words just as beginnings of guided suggestions, and really draw inward. The ultimate teacher is your internal wisdom. So at any point, you can stop doing what we're doing and try something else. You can simply stop and rest, or you can pause and go in and out. Please know that you have complete freedom to make this practice yours, to make it safe and comfortable and true for you. So keeping this cat and cow slowly moving, linking inhale and exhale to this vital movement of the spine. I'm often telling you about mini yoga practices. This alone would be a nice 3-minute practice for the day. Perfectly beautiful and life-giving practice all on its own. Then when you're ready, come back to a neutral spine. Either sit it back to a child's pose or come down onto the forearms into a puppy, or lengthen the arms into an elongated puppy. Just finding some length for the spine. And then inhale back up to all fours. We'll thread the needle. Inhale the right arm out and up to the side. And as you exhale, thread it behind the left. If you're sitting in the chair, you're just going to take the right arm across your chest and hold. If you're on the floor, the right palm is facing up, the fingertips are extended. Press into those left fingertips to help manage the twist. Give yourself a little bit, maybe more room to move around. And then options, you can take that left arm up towards the ceiling if you like. You can internally rotate the arm and take the hand around, grab the right thigh. So wherever you want to be, breathing overall into this space between the shoulder blades. And diving into the sensation in the upper shoulders, in the torso and the neck. Sensing what's arising and what's moving through this sacred body, this gift. And as you're ready, pressing into the left fingertips, left palm to come back up to center, and we'll take the other side. Inhaling the left arm out to the side and exhale, thread it behind the right, coming down. Again, if you're sitting in the chair, taking the left arm across the body and holding it, the right hand. Investigating what's the other side like without going on autopilot. Notice that tendency maybe to do so. Then bringing yourself back if that's the case, right? And just investigating, how is this different on the second side? How's my body different? Without any judgment, without any performance improvement plan, right? It's very natural for the sides to be imbalanced. And we don't need to set it as any kind of goal to make them cookie cutter mirror images. We're just noticing what does the second side need? Elongating the breath. And as you're ready, you can take all the time you need here. As you're ready, whenever you're ready, pressing the right hand down, come back to center. Now from here, draw again the navel, the low belly towards the spine, supporting the low back, and inhale, take the right leg back behind you at hip height. Extend from heel to crown, lengthen in two directions. Draw the lower abs in and up. Inhale here, exhale and cross the right leg behind the left and take the gaze over the left shoulder to look back at those right toes, making a C curve. If you're sitting, you're going to come to standing and holding on to the chair, and take the right foot behind the left, crossing behind you, right? And then taking the right arm up. Right, so we're just making a C curve with the body. Opening up the right side of the rib cage. Notice any sensation through the right hip, deep into the hip structure. Good, and then releasing, bring the right knee forward, bending the knee, and take some circles forward. Starting to juice up the hip a little bit. Lovely. And then one more time, we'll just pause in between sides, either sitting back, buttocks to heels, or simply coming down to the forearms and resting, little puppy. And then taking the other side. So prepare, draw the abdominal muscles in and up. Give some support. Inhale, send the left leg back. And as you exhale, find this extension, this line from heel to crown, right? Feeling the back body. Inhale and lengthen. And then exhale, cross that left leg behind the right. Take the gaze over the right shoulder. Extend through the heel. The toes are tucked under, the heel is pushing back. Knee is lifting up. Feel the sensation of openness through that left side of the rib cage. And breathe. Elongate the breath. And then on an inhale, lift the leg, bend through the left knee, and bring the knee over, taking circles. Lovely. And one last time, sitting it back, child pose, puppy, or any other stretch that your body is calling for. And then coming to a comfortable seat on the floor or on the chair. So I got really nice and warmed up through that. That was really effective. I want to take a look at Ahava Rabbah, which we say every morning before we get to the Shema. Now, this is kind of another cut at something that I've been looking at for several months now, maybe about 8 months. If you caught my podcast episode, the practice centered on this, and I wanted to revisit it through our yoga. The genesis of my search into this was a distracted, hurting, overfull heart. So much emotion swirling and so much difficulty sometimes just getting through a day because there's so much going on. And I think that in addition to everything we are going through and have been going through over these last months and the layering of so many issues, the situation in Israel and in Gaza on top kind of, for me, for my experience, really broke my heart in so many directions once again. And I wanted to return to this practice for us. So before we get to the Shema, we say these words. V'ha'er enenu b'toratecha, brighten our eyes to your Torah, v'dabek libenu b'mitzvotecha, and cleave our hearts, dvekut, v'dabek libenu, to cleave our hearts to your mitzvot, v'yached levavenu le'ahava u'liyirah et shemecha, and unite our hearts, yachad, yichud, unite our hearts in love and in awe for your name. And we're going to look at a chant with those words a little later. Then this paragraph goes on to say, V'havienu l'shalom me'arba kanfot ha'aretz, and bring us to peace from the four corners of the earth. And the exploration that I'm interested in is bring ourselves inward from the four disparate corners, or many, many disparate corners of our own being and our own experience. Help us find a sense of v'yached levavenu, of uniting this heart with all its broken pieces, with all its pieces. V'kerav tanu l'shimcha, and bring us near to l'shimcha hagadol, of your great name, Selah, for real, please. Emphasis, be'emet, in truth. Bring us near in truth. Lehodot lecha, to praise you. Liachedcha, again that word, and to unite with you in love, right? V'kerav tanu, like the word karov, bring us near. So we're going to practice today. The idea is, really, it's this gross effort of the body, right? It's not subtle so much of bringing our attention from the extremities, from outward, drawing in, right? So also in a sense from distraction to focus. Let's find our hands and our feet, and then let's draw into our core, to our heart, to the center. How do we draw it in? And this mirrors exactly what yogic philosophy says, right? The fifth and sixth of the eightfold path, of which asana is number 3, postures are number 3. Fifth and sixth parts are pratyahara, inward focus, and dhyana, concentration, right? So bring us from gross movement in. And these lead eventually in that eightfold path to becoming the witness, dhyana, right? Pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and then merging with the divine, samadhi, right? Often interpreted as bliss. You could say also samadhi is dvekut. Bring us, v'dabek libenu, bring us to that sense of a oneness, a unification with you, Yud-He Vav-He, which is exactly the expression of the Shema that is coming next, right? Gather our hearts from these disparate places inward so that we can have a yichud and echad with you, Yud-He Vav-He, or God, however you know God or describe the divine. That's our inquiry today. That is our inquiry today. So let us begin with the extremities. Let us begin with some standing. So coming to standing, mountain pose, maybe at a wide stance, hip width apart. Take the hands and turn the palms to face forward, and just begin to soften the gaze. Drop the tailbone. Soften the belly. Lift the rib cage off the hips, away from the hips. Widen the collarbones. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. And simultaneously send the heels down. I should say the four corners of the feet, right? The arba kanfot haaretz, send them down. And simultaneously the crown up. You find this beautiful alignment, this instrument, this divine instrument, that once we align it, the divine can speak and move through it. Start to bring your attention to sensation in the soles of the feet and the palms of the hands. Arba kanfot, four corners of the earth. Hands and feet. See what you notice there. Temperature, texture, any pulsation. What do you notice? And we're going to begin to move the arms in any way you like, really. Inhaling, lift the arms, maybe shoulder height, maybe all the way up. And exhaling, press them down. So it could have more of a Tai Chi flow feeling to it, or it could be more of a yoga sun arms really extended. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Make this happen in your own breath, so you don't have to follow me exactly. My breaths can be kind of long. So investigating what happens when I inhale the arms up. What happens when I exhale, bring the arms down. How do the ribs behave? How does the whole shoulder girdle behave in response? And then on your next inhale, pause as you come up and stay here. So it could be cactus arms, it could be, wherever, or more traditional Urdhva Hastasana, arms extended, palms facing, wherever you are. Pause and breathe. Allow sensation to build. Allow heat to build. Feel your four corners. V'havienu l'shalom me'arba kanfot ha'aretz. As you're ready, exhale, slowly bring the arms down. And before you shake them out or fidget, just pause. Once again, come to stand with the palms facing forward and feel and notice. Feel the echo of that upward extended mountain. And then release. We're going to come to a forward fold and a downward facing dog. I will model the option with the chair. You may not need the chair. You may like blocks. You may just bring your hands to the floor very easily. So you're going to come to the front of your mat. The feet are hip width apart. Take the hands to the hips. Press the feet down, inhale, drop the tailbone, lift the heart, draw the elbows back toward each other. You might even lift the gaze. Have that nice open extension of the front body. And as you exhale, fold at the hip crease. And hands to the chair, forearms to the chair, hands to the blocks or the floor, folding over. Uttanasana, forward fold. Tailbone is back. You can keep a micro bend on the knees. If the legs are really tight, you'll want to bend the knees some more. Investigating your forward fold today. Where do you feel sensation? Smooth, easy breaths. Notice your feet. Are you standing evenly? Is there more weight to the outer foot or the inner foot? See if you can balance it. Send the thighs back, thigh bones back, tailbone back, long, extended away from you. Notice if at any point you're holding your breath. That's usually a sign you're pushing a little too much. You want to back out to a place where you can smooth out the breath and keep it moving. And now we're going to move to downward facing dog. If your hands are to the floor, you plant them and you'll step back. If your hands are on the chair, you'll walk your feet back. Let's all take our feet for this one as wide as the mat. Turn the toes in just slightly. It's a nice downward dog variation to open up the low back a little bit. To the extent your shoulders allow, for those of you on the chair, you'll want to straighten your arms. And if they don't, the shoulders do not allow, keep a bend on the elbow. See what you need. So for all of us, tailbone and crown extending in opposite directions. The same things apply here. Thigh bones moving back. And as the thigh bones move back, you might notice if that speaks to you, if that speaks to your body, as the thigh bones move back, you might notice that the belly starts to hollow, the abdomen starts to hollow. More space, more space. Arba kanfota aretz, the feet, the hands, finding them. V'havienu l'shalom, and bring us to peace through these four corners. Lovely. Let's inhale it forward to plank pose. And exhale it back, downward facing dog. Let the tailbone take you back. Inhale, let the crown take you forward, plank. Exhale, let the tailbone take you back, downward dog. Inhale, plank, crown forward. Exhale, downward dog, tailbone back. Good, and from here, step it forward. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, flat back. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees. This time, just take a nice ragdoll, easy ragdoll. And from here, you're going to either roll up the spine vertebra by vertebra or take forearms to the thighs and extend the spine to come up. And pause the top mountain. Pause and feel. Take one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. You can keep the eyes open or you can keep the eyes closed. Whatever feels most safe and most comfortable. Feel the reverberation of these poses. Just drawing in from the four corners. If the eyes are closed, allow them to open. Release the hands. We're going to come to the floor. Come onto your back with the knees bent, soles of the feet to the floor. Have your block handy nearby. If you don't have a block, have the blanket nearby. We're going to come to it in a couple moments. You might want a blanket under your head for some support for the back of your skull. See what you need. For this first moment, just let the spine settle. Place the palms on your low belly. Allow the shoulder blades to widen. Allow the thoracic and the cervical spine, the chest part and the neck part of your spine to lengthen. Allow the weight of the body to fall to the floor, release, surrender to the floor. Allow the jaw to soften. And bring the knees up to a 90-degree here with the feet up in the air. Take the arms out to the side. We're going to just do a little bit of abdominal toning, livening up. So inhale, take the right toes down to the floor, and exhale, bring it back up. Inhale, left toes down. Let it come from the abs and not from the leg. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, right, tap. And exhale, draw in. Inhale, left, and if you want it to be a little harder, take the toe a little further away. Exhale in. One more time. Inhale, right, down, and exhale in. Inhale, left. Everything else stable, and exhale in. Continue like that, or if you like, now we'll start to alternate. Right, left, right, and left. And then if you want to keep going from here, clasp the hands behind the head, elbows really nice and wide, and we'll start to take it to bicycles. So left elbow to right knee, and then switch. Right elbow to left knee, and switch, exhaling. And switch, exhaling. And the slower you take this whole thing, the harder it can be. Again, the focus is the core. It's all happening from the core, not from the legs. Just a couple more. Good. And then draw it back in. Hug the knees for a moment. And bring it back up to 90 degrees again. So hips, knees above hips, and then 90 degrees at the knees. Take the arms out to the sides. Good. Inhale, and knees and feet together. Exhale, take the knees just maybe 6 inches to the right. Inhale through center. And exhale, a few inches to the left. If you want a little more support for the low back, you might take the hands under the low back. So inhaling center and exhaling side. And you'll see if you want to take it a little further towards the floor, or just keep it very small. And again, the entire thing controlled from the center. Right, so bringing our attention in from the extremities. We worked through the extremities, and now we're working through into the core. Good. And then inhale, center, and exhale. The next time you come to the right, bring the knees down to the side. Left shoulder blade remains on the floor, right? So if it's hard to sustain that contralateral movement, you want to take a blanket and place it under the legs, or maybe a blanket or block between the knees. And feel the wringing out action of the abdomen. Good. You can stay as long as you like. If you want to stay longer, go for it. If you want to come to the other side, inhale through center and then exhale the knees over to the left. As you're ready, come back to center and then take the feet to the floor. We're going to take a bridge pose, slightly different than we usually do. The first thing we're going to do is lift the hips, press into the feet, lift the hips, and place the block under the low back. And just rest the low back. And if that feels too high for you, you want to take the blanket and just give a little lift to the sacrum. So this should feel pretty easeful. So if it does not, then the block is too high. Lengthen the tailbone toward the knees. Lengthen the tailbone away from you and let the belly just settle kind of like a hammock. Let the abdominal muscles move towards the back body. And breathe and feel. V'yached levavenu, and unite our hearts. Unite our hearts. So we can use the breath and the breathing here to massage, really internally massage the whole abdominal area that we just worked. We heated it up. Now we can fill it with breath, with chiyut, with life force, with prana. Okay, and then press into the feet, lift the hips, remove the blocker, the blanket. We're gonna slowly come down to the floor. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. That's a little different than usual. We're gonna articulate through the spine as we come up and down, kind of a rolling bridge. So I like to take my hands and hold the outer edges of the mat. You might like that too, or extend your arms, see what works for you. Spread the toes, really ground the feet. Inhale. And as you exhale, draw the navel towards the spine, let the tailbone move up towards the ceiling, low back presses into the floor, and start one at a time to lift the vertebrae one at a time off the floor. You don't have to come up very far, maybe just to the bottom of the shoulder blades on this first one. And then exhale here in the air. Inhale here. And as you exhale, drop the vertebrae one by one to the floor. Just like a strand of pearls, you're lifting and lowering one by one. So each of the movements with the spine happens on the exhale. And the inhale is really a pause. So when we get to the bottom, we inhale, we fill. We exhale, we start the movement, navel to spine, lengthen the tailbone, begin to come up. Inhale at the top. And exhale, begin to come down vertebra by vertebra. And it might take a couple cycles. If your cycles are short, maybe you pause and you inhale and then you continue the exhale and the movement. Keep this inquiry going for yourself. Articulating up and down the spine. You might come up a little higher each time. Keep the breath moving. Notice what you feel along the way. So many muscles connected to this movement. You're giving the spinal, paraspinal, shoulder muscles, all of it, kind of a massage on the way down. And the next time you land at the bottom, just pause, let the breath return to normal. Sway your knees a little bit side to side. And then we come to stillness. You can take this constructive rest position if you like, with the knees bent, with the hands on the low belly, on the hip points, or you can take the legs long. You can rest the lower legs on the chair if you like that option for Shavasana. You could roll a blanket under your knees. Whatever you like. We're turning the palms to face up. Come to complete stillness, complete rest. The work is done, right? The intention there for the heart to unify. Just let it be. Let the body, let the nervous system absorb the teaching you've just planted. May our minds and hearts be unified to behold with love and wonder that which is ever becoming. Continually gathering peacefully from the dispersed and distracted into this right here, our home. We engage in an ever faithful and mysterious process of drawing closer to your name, what is sacred love. These words from Ahava Rabbah, interpreted by Rabbi Sheila Peltz Weinberg. Begin to deepen the breath. Bring your awareness back toward the surface, wiggling the fingers and the toes. Begin to make your way slowly over to your side and up to a comfortable seat. Taking your time. We're going to close with a chant, and the words of the chant Adi is putting into the chat if you'd like to join me. And you establish your strong seat once again. And take a hand to the heart. And place the other hand on top of it. 2 hands to the heart. Maybe you even feel the beating of your own heart. This powerhouse right at the center. V'dabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha. We close with this chant from Rabbi Shefa Gold. V'yached levavenu le'ahava u'liyira et shemecha. Unite our hearts in love and in awe for your name. V'yached levavenu v'yached levavenu le'ahava u'liyira et shemecha. V'yached levavenu v'yached levavenu le'ahava u'liyira et shemecha. V'yached levavenu v'yached levavenu le'ahava u'liyira et shemecha. Releasing your hands. And slowly opening your eyes. Letting your gaze come back to the room. Shavua Tov. Thank you all. For those headed out on your way, have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week. A reminder that next Monday is Memorial Day, so we have no class Memorial Day. But I will see you the week following, and feel free to stay. If you have questions or reflections, we'll have maybe 10 minutes or so, 5 or 10 minutes of sharing. So thank you all for practicing.